Ever wondered who the real-life Tony Stark was? Meet Nikola Tesla, the man who arguably invented the 20th century. His story begins in 1856 in what is now Croatia, born during a fierce lightning storm. The midwife saw it as a bad omen, but his mother prophetically said, "No, he will be a child of light." And what a child of light he became. From a young age, Tesla was different. He possessed a photographic memory, what we call an eidetic memory today. He could memorize entire books and visualize incredibly complex inventions in his mind with such clarity that he didn't even need to draw them out. This amazing mental ability would become the foundation for his life's work. His formal education took him to the Graz University of Technology in Austria. It was here that his lifelong obsession began. While his professors were teaching the established science of direct current, or DC, Tesla became fascinated with a more elegant, more powerful alternative, alternating current, or AC. He saw its potential, even when everyone else dismissed it. This vision would set him on a collision course with the most famous inventor of his time. In 1884, at the age of 28, Tesla arrived in New York City with just 4 cents in his pocket, a book of his own poetry, and a letter of recommendation addressed to the one and only Thomas Edison. The letter was from one of Edison's business associates and simply said, "My dear Edison, I have known 2 great men, and you are one of them. The other is this young man." Impressed, Edison hired him. Tesla was put to work improving Edison's inefficient DC generators. He worked tirelessly, often from 10:30 in the morning until 5 a.m. the next day. Edison, seeing his talent, supposedly offered him a $50,000 bonus of fortune back then if he could solve the company's most pressing engineering problems. Tesla could do it. In just a few months, he presented his improved designs, but when he asked for the promised bonus, Edison laughed it off, saying, "Tesla, you don't understand our American humor." Tesla quit on the spot. This was the spark that ignited one of the greatest rivalries in the history of science. After leaving Edison, Tesla struggled, even digging ditches for a time to survive. But his genius couldn't be buried. He soon found backers who believed in his vision for alternating current, including the industrialist George Westinghouse. This set the stage for the infamous War of the Currents. On one side, you had Edison and his direct current. DC was great, but it had a huge limitation. It couldn't travel long distances without losing power. This meant you'd need a power plant on almost every street corner. On the other side, you had Tesla and Westinghouse. With alternating current, AC could be easily stepped up to high voltages to travel hundreds of miles with minimal power loss, and then stepped down to safer voltages for homes and businesses. It was vastly more efficient. Edison, fearing the loss of his DC empire, launched a vicious smear campaign. He publicly electrocuted stray animals using a seed to prove how dangerous it was. He even helped develop the electric chair, powered BIAC, to forever associate it with death in the public's mind. But Tesla fought back with science and spectacle. One of his most brilliant creations was the AC induction motor. This simple, elegant device, with no moving contacts, is the workhorse of the modern world. It powers everything from your blender and washing machine to factory equipment and power tools. It was a revolutionary invention that only worked with AC power. Then came the Tesla coil in 1891. This high-frequency transformer could create spectacular bolts of artificial lightning, demonstrating the raw power and beauty of electricity. More than just a light show, The principles behind the Tesla coil are still fundamental to radio technology and wireless communication today. The tipping point in the War of the Currents came in 1893 at the Chicago World's Fair. While Edison's company bid to light the fair with expensive DC power, Westinghouse and Tesla undercut them with their far more efficient AC system. That year, hundreds of thousands of incandescent light bulbs, powered by Tesla's AC generators, illuminated the White City in a dazzling display. It was a stunning demonstration of a sea's safety, power, and superiority. The world was convinced. The ultimate victory came shortly after. Tesla designed the world's first major hydroelectric power plant at Niagara Falls, harnessing the immense power of the falls. His AC generators sent electricity to the city of Buffalo, over 20 miles away. This was something DC could never have accomplished. The modern electrical grid was born, all thanks to Tesla's vision. But Tesla's ambitions didn't stop there. He had an even bigger dream. Free, wireless energy for the entire world. He envisioned a global system where information, and even electrical power, could be transmitted through the air, accessible to anyone, anywhere, with a simple receiver. This wasn't science fiction to him. It was the next logical step. To achieve this, he began constructing the Wardenclyffe Tower on Long Island, New York. This magnificent 187-foot tower was meant to be the first broadcast station in a global wireless system. It was an incredibly ambitious project, backed initially by the powerful banker J.P. Morgan. However, as the project's costs grew, and Morgan realized that free energy wasn't exactly a profitable business model, he pulled the funding. Wardenclyffe was never completed, and Tesla's grandest dream was shattered. Another area where Tesla was a true pioneer was radio. While Guglielmo Marconi is often celebrated as the father of radio, winning the Nobel Prize for it in 1909, Tesla had actually filed his own fundamental radio patents years earlier. Marconi's first successful transatlantic transmission in 1901 used 17 of Tesla's patents. It wasn't until months after Tesla's death in 1943 that the U.S. Supreme Court finally overturned Marconi's patent in favor of Tesla, officially recognizing him as the inventor of radio. As the years went on, Tesla became more and more eccentric. He grew reclusive, suffered from severe obsessive-compulsive disorder, and became obsessed with hygiene and the number 3. He would walk around the block 3 times before entering a building and used 80 napkins to polish his dining utensils. In his later years, living in a New York hotel, he developed a strange and tender relationship with the city's pigeons, feeding them daily. He claimed to have a special connection with one particular white pigeon, loving it as one would love a human being. On January 7, 1943, Nikola Tesla died alone and in debt in his room at the Hotel New Yorker. He was 86 years old. The man who had given the world so much died with almost nothing. His papers and research were seized by the government, and for decades, his name faded into relative obscurity, overshadowed by names like Edison and Marconi. But today, Tesla's legacy is stronger than ever. He's revered as a visionary genius, a pop culture icon, and the quintessential mad scientist who was decades ahead of his time. The SI unit for magnetic flux density is named the Tesla in his honor. And of course, his name is now synonymous with the future of electric vehicles, thanks to Tesla, Inc. He truly was the man who dreamed up our modern world, a true child of light. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the life of a genius, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories about the people who changed our world. See you in the next one.